everybody.
What is this music?
That doesn't matter.
It's good, is what it is.
Is it not? I was gonna guess Layton.
Yeah, it's Professor Layton.
That's
Yeah, I
Professor
figured.
Layton?
Yeah, it's the jazz arrangement, but yes.
I don't
Are you
know.
impressed with me
That
that
makes
I
sense,
knew
but I
it?
don't know it.
That's why I'm so good at that music category.
Okay, looking. Okay, let me get the chat going. It's the wrong YouTube account.
Oh, let me check my notes to see if the notes are resetted because I don't want to. Oh, perfecto. Save. Every time I had to reset those notes, kind of annoying. For the time codes.
For that
Timestamps?
extension.
Yeah, for that
That's
extension, I had
annoying.
to go and delete. I mean, it's good because if you want to go back and check it, you have it.
All right.
Oh,
I think
we did get new NSO games just dropping.
What? Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell me. I'm gonna look. Let's do live reaction. Let's not say. Don't say.
All right, yeah, sure, sure.
Don't look at anything. Don't look at anything.
Sure. There's that. All right, well, then let's click this. Don't put it in chat, anybody.
Yeah, keep the surprise.
I'm gonna high chat for a second.
Do you guys
it
hear
works.
that?
Yes.
Yes, we hear that.
And then chat needs that turned back up then. I think we're good. I'll tweet. Yes, I'll tweet.
Yes, we are good.
What is this? I right click on now on YouTube videos and it's like a different right click meant what it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If you right click twice, you get
You got the skinny one? Do you got the skinny one now?
I have like a browser one that's like copy video frame, which is neat. Like that's cool to have. But neither of them are skinny. Both of them are pretty much the same size. All right, let's see here. Tweeting.
I have one that says copy. What's this? Oh, I can't even see it. It's so broken.
Oh my god.
Copy
Okay,
frame.
I'll wait till the
Yeah.
podcast starts. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay.
Oh my god. We gotta get started.
He's just
I
gonna
can't
keep us
go.
in
I'm literally just somebody put it. This is why I shouldn't tweet. I agree, Mike.
What? I tweeted 2 seconds.
This is like 4-ish seconds. I don't even remember what I just wrote, and I'm pretty sure some of it's grammatically incorrect.
He's just not pro like the rest of us. He doesn't get how it works.
That's right. All right. I think I'm ready. Mike, you good?
I'm ready.
All right. In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, on September 5th, 2023, we have impressions from Nintendo Live. We were, in fact, there. There's new NSO games. We're going to react to that live. We don't even know.
I don't know what they are. I have zero
are.
idea.
And somehow,
I hope it's
direct
Alf.
rumors are back. I hope it's Alf for the Sega Master System
Yes.
somehow. All right, Jeff, a couple things here before we really get started.
Okay.
So Jan had to cut his hair. He had to shave his head off.
Sure. Shave his head off.
Because-
Yes, that's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. And I'm reading the comments to like the voicemail dump truck live we did at PAX, which, by the way, thank you so much for everybody who came live.
Meant a
Thank
lot.
you, everybody
That was a
said
lot
hi.
of fun to do.
Yeah, we'll talk about our
And thanks
PAX
for
experience in a
PAX.
second
Thanks for
here.
PAX for having us as well. That was great.
I just realized. So like what Jan says is like, oh, because he beat the game, but
Yeah.
then he's like, oh, but like my save didn't like transfer because when I.
Do you think? Here's what I've always thought. Like he did beat it. The save is there. He's just loading into the save as it does, which is before that final thing.
Because he's like, I wasn't really like listen. I think I was listening well enough because what he says is, oh, I started it up again, and I'm right before fighting Jan.
Yeah, right.
So he's like, oh, my save didn't transfer. Why didn't you say something?
Knew it immediately and didn't say anything because I was like, Jan wants to cut his hair. That's what we're doing
I know
now.
Jan wants to cut his. I mean, obviously he wants to cut his hair. He already beat the game, and he's still like, no, it doesn't count. What do you mean it doesn't count? Incredible.
It was good stuff.
Thank
He
you
looks
so
great.
much.
He looks great though.
Thank you. Yeah, he does somehow. Thank you so much, everybody watching live. I see we got a super chat there. If you want to leave a super chat, please do. We will read all of those during the show today. If you're watching live, please hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it. All right, let's do this real quick, because I'm also anxious to see what these new NSO
You just wanna
games
tell me?
are. What? I'm just going to tell you. We have for Super NES, Kirby Star Stacker.
Okay.
Okay. For the NES, Joy Mech Fight.
Let's fucking go.
Man, what the hell is Kirby Star Stacker? This is a Super
Isn't that
Super Famicom game we never got before.
Isn't that a Tetris Attack?
You think it's a puzzle league? It doesn't. It's blocks. I'm not sure if it's a puzzle league. If it is, I would like that.
Okay.
What the hell is Joy Mech Fight? Then for
How's the
got
Joy
Downtown Neketsu March Super Awesome Field Day for NES.
What are you saying, Mike?
This is a Kunio-kun game.
Okay, all right, that's
That's
cool.
kind of neat.
That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a Kunio-kun. Cool. That's fun. Joy Mech Fight is some like NES fighting game. These are like a lot of Japanese games we never got here. And the Quest for Camelot for the Game Boy Color. Quest for Camelot, I don't know too much about it. It looks like a Zelda clone, top-down action adventure game.
Oh, damn it. Quit unmuting. I'm trying to look at this Kirby Star Stacker. It's
Nothing
like
crazy
two. It
here.
does look like two are dropping at a time, and it is head-to-head competitive. It's got to be like a Tetris Attack alike at the very least.
Yeah, it doesn't look exactly like a Tetris Attack.
It doesn't.
to
It
me.
doesn't. But it's like it's very close in a lot of ways. What the hell is
Yeah,
Quest for
nothing-
Camelot?
It's a Zelda. It looks like a Zelda style
Okay.
game. I don't know if it's like supposed to be a particularly good one. Let me find out right
Well,
now.
hey, you still got Excite Bike 64, everybody.
Yeah, right. I mean, getting that Kunio-kun game is pretty interesting.
Sure.
Because there's a bunch of those we can get. I mean, it looks a lot like a River City Ransom.
Yeah,
But for
it
people who
does.
don't know, Kunio-kun is River City. It's that franchise.
Well, I like this one where they're just fighting in someone's house.
Yeah.
That's good.
Quest for... Wait a second. This isn't actually a game based off the movie Quest for Camelot. It is? For Game Boy? Wait, what the hell? It's a licensed game?
Why is this the one license game?
And it's a 49.67 on Game Rankings? What the hell is this doing here?
Yeah, Quest for Camelot, characters' names, and all related
What?
indica and trademarks of Warner Brothers, 1998.
This is the weirdest NSO pick ever.
That is, I don't even remember this game.
What?
Okay, hang on.
No
Quest
one knows this
for-
game. It's just some licensed
I
game.
don't even remember the movie, but it is definitely based on the
I
movie.
remember the movie. It came
My
out
God,
in the late
Pierce
90s.
Brosnan, Carrie Yules.
It was Warner Brothers. It was
Yeah.
that weird part in the late 90s where every company decided to come at Disney with their own 2D studio animation. So, like, the people who made this are going to be the people who make the Iron Giant, right?
Sure,
For
okay.
example. And then, like, Fox did Anastasia at this time.
Quest for
There's a ton
Camelot
of
is
that.
available for free on YouTube with ads if anyone wants to watch it.
I've never seen it. Don't really care to. What? But they don't. So Eric G says scraping the barrel. They don't need to scrape the barrel. They just started adding Game Boy Color games like a year ago. There's so many still. And Game Boy, we don't have Donkey Kong 94.
It's some of that big Quest for Camelot glow up though, so this is like really great timing because
What
everyone's
the-
talking about Quest for Camelot. This is really good.
Everyone can't stop talking about what the hell. That's okay. Well, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Well, anyways, welcome to Last of the Nintendogs, everybody. Jeff, did you miss me, buddy? I haven't seen you.
I know it's been almost. Let me check my watch here. Yeah, a couple minutes. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't know. I did. You know, I did. I wrote in our PAX message group on Discord. I'm like, hey, everybody, gonna miss you. And then I was like, you did not respond for most of the day, and I was like, I should maybe just text him and tell him, hey, I'd have fun with you. But you got back eventually, so I'm like, okay, he saw it. We're all good.
Yeah, I was probably sleeping a lot or something like
good
that.
Call. Good call.
Slept in quite a bit today. I do like the West Coast because my sleeping schedule is way more normal over there.
Yeah, but now
I'm
it's
falling to
messed
sleep
up my
at
sleeping
midnight.
schedule here, where like I couldn't fall asleep last night till like 3 a.m. So, and honestly, it was
my
later
normal
than that.
time. But yeah, we shared a room for like what 4 nights there
Yep,
or
it was
something.
a good time.
But,
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
It went by very fast. You always make these extra plans. Like we thought we would go to the Space Needle and that stuff, and we thought we'd somehow have a way to watch those pay-per-views. I have not. No spoilers, please, yet. But yeah, we were very busy just doing PAX and Nintendo Live stuff. And I guess we should talk about the Nintendo Live stuff first. And you know what? We make a lot of jokes about being in Nintendo jail, and I don't get early review code from Nintendo anymore.
Right, but that's it.
But they obviously, let us come to Nintendo Live.
They invited us. They straight up invited us.
They invited us. They were very kind, and we had pretty cool access there. But even without that, even when we just kind of went back the next day, and they still kind of let us in and skipped the line, which I appreciate just to get inside there. It was organized in such a way that even playing Super Mario Wonder, we waited 5 minutes to do that when we did it just in the normal line. The whole thing seemed really well organized, Jeff. In general, I had a really good time at Nintendo Live.
I think they did a great job. It's a really well thought out thing where it's very pleasant to just be in there. It's one big hall right next to PAX in the main PAX building. Now there's two PAX buildings. In the main PAX building, Nintendo Live is just there, and everything, like you said, everything has pretty short lines. It's not super crowded. A big part of that, obviously, is the lottery system for getting tickets, so they could control how many people were in there. And I think they kind of went to a lower limit to make sure that things were relatively nice to be in. I mean, I'm a fan of that. I don't know how you balance that. I guess maybe the way you balance that is like create a bigger space, but then you don't get the effect of like, well, everywhere in the hall you could hear the music from the band and the Zelda band and the Mario Big Band. And it was so incredible to like just have that stuff playing while you're walking around. And then like you go around the corner and there's a big Kirby waddling down the hallway. It was really well done, really cool. I really enjoyed it. They seem, from what we like could establish, what we could figure out, like from talking to them briefly, talking to PR, seems like everyone is pretty happy with the way it went. And it's very likely they're going to keep doing something along these lines in the future.
Yeah, you can see them kind of maybe expanding it even, because it was like relatively small, just one hall. But they made great use of that space in that one hall. You had all these kind of different stations for games, and that didn't always necessarily mean demos. The Super Mario Wonder was like the only, hey, this is an upcoming game with a demo.
That's right.
There were demo stations to like play Kirby, to play Pikmin 4 and things like that. But generally, it was actually a lot of like photo ops, but really fun ones, either with these kind of sets that they made, or just like still figures. Like they had Kirby there, or if they had walk around characters that were really good. The Pikachu was fantastic.
Yep.
They were emoting like crazy in that little Pikachu costume.
There was nothing as elaborate as a E3 booth that they've done in the past, whether that's Super Mario Odyssey or
like
Breath of the Wild, Luigi's Mansion 3. But they definitely, it kind of like that money was spread across all of these stations, and like you said, because most of those stations were for games that already existed, it's like that felt right. Like they already have Kirby probably in a warehouse in Seattle, and they drove it here down the road, and it's like you should definitely do that. And all the props that we've seen for Smash Brothers in places before, well, they brought those back out, put them in glass cases. You didn't even have to get in line to see those. Those were just right next to the line. You could walk right up to them, and it wasn't like there was no crowd around that. It was, I don't know. I just had a really good time. I'm glad we went 2 days in a row. I'm like, if they do Nintendo Live, I'm like, I got the little coin in our swag bag that said, the challenge coin said Nintendo Live 2023. I'm like, well, I want to get the next one. I don't want to not have one of those coins in the future. So yeah, I'm already planning to go back if they do it again.
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And they had some concerts going throughout the day. They had Zelda Orchestra and a Mario Big Band. So even watching them was fun, but even just walking around that space, you would hear them wherever you were.
The most fun is yelling at them.
So so they were doing like a bit for the Mario Big Band.
Victor Lucas was doing the bit, who was hosting it. We saw Victor at Mod Pizza before, and he told us all about it. And I was like, oh, that's exciting. We'll be there. And then he knew our presence. Well, knew your presence.
No, I made sure he knew my presence, because they did this bit like, we're going to show you 3 pictures, and if anybody knows the name of the location, just shout it out. And the first one's Babam Battlefield. Second one's Delfino Plaza. Lots of people screaming. And he's like, okay, this next one's a little harder. And he shows it. It's from 3D World, and it's dead silence. And then I just scream, Super Bell Hill, let's Let's go!
It couldn't have been quieter, and he could not have been louder. It was the perfect dichotomy. It was incredible. And then, of course, like Lucy and Tam being British, they're like almost nervous laughing, but they couldn't help it, just be impressed. And like, I'm just cracking up. I'm like dying.
Victor's like, oh wow, that didn't even show up on my little prompter.
Yeah.
3D World represent. Let's go. But
It was really good.
But gosh, we even like some of the smaller things, like we realized that when you did a demo station or did a photo op, they gave you a little trinket, like a patch or a pin. So we started doing things. We realized, well, wait a second, they probably have a Pikmin pin. Let's go just play the Pikmin demo, I guess.
Yep.
It's not much of a line. And what they actually said, oh, you want to like do the single player? You want to do a Dandori battle? So we finally got to Dandori battle each other, which was a lot of fun.
Mike spanked me in both rounds. It was still.
I gave you one of my pins, though. I'm a good sport.
Yes, yeah, thank you. The kids really liked that, actually. I think I think he gave me a pen because he was also thought it was pathetic, but it was.
Well, no, but they think of that because when two people are fighting each other in that or Smash Brothers, they're like, oh, you want to go again?
Yes,
obviously, so that you get 2 pins.
Yes, again, just every step of the way just seems really well thought out. I guess. They said they've done something similar to this in Japan, but like the only thing they brought over was some like Mario competition thing, and
right, which was like one of the least.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was like a time thing to that. Like maybe that was only happening during certain times. I don't understand
what it even was, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but it's like I'm like looking through some of the pictures, like the little family room, the 1980s family room throwback thing. That was very fun. They had this thing. It's not like the faux 1980s. Stuff you get today where it's like back in the 80s, everything had laser beams on it and those fun little swirls and pink triangles. It's like, no, this straight up did just look like a grandma's house with the wood paneling everywhere and the really lush, thick shag carpeting and the big green plant and stuff like that.
TV that's like has like those giant wood panelings.
Yes,
on
the big
side.
console TV. Yes,
yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is really good. It really does remind me of
these
the
were
80s.
Just rooms.
Yes, exactly. This is just where this is just the basement I grew up in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just what houses were like when I was growing up. Actually, we all liked carpet and wallpaper.
Yeah,
really
they had wallpaper
from that fast.
And there was a TV guide with Balky on it from Perfect Strangers, and that was in my house for sure.
Yeah, the one thing we didn't get to do, and like is the one thing that maybe some better planning can happen, is the merch line. It got like people were waiting for 4 hours. I heard.
Yep, 4.5 hours on the day that we were like thinking about it. Honestly, no, I think that was on Sunday, which was like one of the slower days. So,
and there was some neat stuff there, but like I said, you got a lot of trinkets just from going around the show floor, and I was like, okay, I'm good with that. Actually, I don't need to get the shirt. That's fine. But yeah, if you wanted merch, that was going to be like half of your day.
Right. So Chris String from Games Industry was in there, and he's like, just tell me what you want, I'll get it. I'm like, are you sure? And I asked for I looked at the pictures and I'm like, give me the Pikmin sweater. Because the Pikmin sweater looked very cool, but it was very much a lady's sweater. So I just gave it to Steph.
Yeah,
she really likes it.
Specified that because I looked at it again.
Had I gotten closer up, I could have saw in person and like figured that out and gotten like stuff like the right signs instead of like.
Yeah, but at least you didn't wait 4 hours to get a sweater that didn't fit you.
Exactly. Yes, and so I mean, I would have liked to have gotten some of that other merch. There was no way we were going to be able to wait ever. Like we started to wait in the line. And then they told us how long it was going to be, and we were in the sun at that point, so the line had to go outside. And I'm just like, guys, I can't. And you guys, everyone's immediately like, yeah,
nobody wanted. Everyone was waiting for the first person to be like, let's not do this.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
But the highlight was that Super Mario Brothers Wonder demo. We played it twice, 4 players each time. Jeff. That's great. It's fantastic. It's everything I wanted. It is interesting and exciting in every way the new Super Mario Brothers games have not been for a long time. I mean, just the animation improvements alone just make it worth it. Just all the cute little touches. At one point, you were Mario and he had the drill hat. You like went to a pipe and like the drill hat like stayed behind like a cartoon. So you see his little hand like reach out and grab it and pull it back in. Just little things like that are so good.
I got home and Addie's been wanting to play games with me, and she's picking the games, and then she picked a new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, and we played some of that. And I'm like playing. I'm like, I think I hate this game now.
I resent this game.
I resent
it.
It looks rough. It looks bad in a lot of ways. And a lot of that's like it was made for well, I mean, it was made for an HD system. It doesn't feel like it when you're playing it. It just looks
I remember
rough.
they went on. They would say this is the first HD Mario game.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah. Imagine how rough New Super Mario Brothers Wii looks, because that does look kind of rough.
Exactly. So yeah, but it was like when I was playing Wonder, it's like, man, yeah, this
It's
is a big
Wonder.
Yeah, it's like, is this a big jump? It's like, it's a huge jump. It's a massive jump compared to what they were doing with the new series. And then just on its own merits, it is really fun to play. There's so much cool stuff going on. We said this maybe on the Bombcast, but it feels like the one that they kind of took the same design ethos that they have for the 3D games, which is like, let's just come up with a million ideas and then throw all those ideas into all these different levels.
And they even have a mechanic built just for that Wonder Flower, where each level has one of these Wonder Flowers, and you touch it, and it does something different every time, at least from what I saw in every level. So, like, even that's just cool. Like, well, what's it going to do this time?
Exactly, no idea.
One time the ceiling came down. We had to start kind of, like, breaking blocks below us to get out of
that
the way.
drill hat to, like... Yeah, and like the first time we did it, I was the one with the drill hat, so everyone was like piling on me, and there's no longer that interaction between characters where you bump into each other, unless you're Yoshi, and you could ride on someone's back. But it's like you guys were able to like crowd around me as I was like quickly trying to figure out how to drill through here and keep everyone safe, and it was like really fun. It was a 3-star difficulty level, something that's also new to Mario. There's a lot of small changes. I don't think there's lives. There's no timer. Tam and Lucy.
There's no timer. That's the first time no timer, I think.
Yes, for a 2D game. Tam and Lucy went to go talk to Tezuka, who's been making Mario games for 40 years. And he's like, yeah, we were talking to some of the younger staff, and they're like, timers. Why would we have a timer? That's weird. It's like, yeah.
Kind of right. It is like when Odyssey got rid of lives.
Yes.
It's like, why do we have lives anymore?
Yes.
It's like, I don't know, actually.
But if you like look at this game, you're like, this feels really imaginative. I mean, I think the big reason for that apparently is this game did not have a deadline for years. They were just constantly coming up with new stuff, and they're like, eventually, after what must have been like 4 years of just riffing on ideas, they're like, okay, we're going to put this game out in like a year and a half, 2 years. And then that's when they started actually getting into shape for that you see right now. But it's like, man, it really does feel like one of those games that they just threw everything into, and all these people from across the company were able to come in and contribute ideas. And I am way more excited for this game, even though I was already very excited for it.
Yeah, it just played well. And, I think it maybe the whole no collision thing, you can't pick up other players. Maybe some people are going to miss that. I will not.
You have New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Go play that instead.
I thought that the whole picking up a person, throwing them in a whole thing stopped being funny about 10 years ago. I was like, I'm pretty over that.
This has the ghost like racing mode, which is it's actually going to be better even for those kinds of people, because we're all thinking about Dan, right? Dan's the one that wants to pick someone and throw him into a pit. But just like, no, Dan, let's race instead, and he'll be on board for that.
He'll like that. That'll keep Dan busy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus, Daisy's playable, and it is fan. I mean, there's so many playable characters, which is fun. How do you feel about the Yoshis like not having power-ups and kind of almost being a separate play style, and kind of easy mode characters because they can't get damaged?
I think it's interesting. I think it's better than in new Super Mario, or I'm sorry, Super Mario Brothers Galaxy, where you have the second player just like pointing at the screen and shooting stuff, and like that's how like the adults can help. But here it's like, no, if you want to play as one of these characters, that's fine. But if you want to like be impervious to damage, just hop on Yoshi's back, and now you can't take damage, and I'll carry you through the level. There's some good ideas there.
Yeah, so that was really exciting. Again, we got to play it twice. Really fun photo op they had out in front of that one. They made like a whole little set that you can get in. Oh gosh, yeah, just had a lot of fun over in Nintendo Live. I definitely hope that they expand on it. I wonder if like even at some point it gets so big that it doesn't have to be sort of paired with packs like this. Maybe they'll even do their own thing.
Yeah, I think that ideally it would happen like on a different weekend, I think. But I don't know. We'll see. They probably won't do that because this is just too convenient for them.
Anything else about Nintendo Live, Jeff? You want to just talk about your PAX thoughts in general, kind of somewhat briefly here, just like the experience, not the games necessarily?
Yeah, I'll just say, we posted a bunch of pictures on so feel free to check that out. But if you want to see what the experience is like, we'll have a Nintendo Live travel log up at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, PAX was just part of that. And thank you so much to everyone that said hi, that came to our panels. You could check. I know I saw that the live voicemail dump truck we did is on the Giant Bomb channel now. Again, some people came up to say hi and were so nice. Special shout outs to Always Be Clothing, who gifted me my Mickey Mouse cookies, my shortbread cookies, and a nice Raphael little figure, too. Really appreciate that. But yeah, it was really great getting to meet people. We had a kind of public hangout at the GameWorks, the last GameWorks in the world, I think, the one day. And like a lot of people came. It was fun just to hang out, play some video games. Jeff beat me super fair and square in Third Strike. Well done, Jeff.
I was playing as Ken, so I don't know how fair and square it was.
It's fair. It's pretty fair. It's you know what? I'm determined now to go back and brush up on my Third Strike
next
for the
time
rematch.
we play, I'm sure it'll be a different story. But that was a lot of fun. Just playing games in general there and hanging out with Miles and. The one thing that was a cool thread throughout the weekend, like it was awesome to meet the community, but I knew the community would show up. Like Giant Bomb community shows up to PAX, and it was awesome to see them in person. Like that was like a big thing. It's like, okay, that feels like, okay, we're at this mile marker where everyone's back at PAX and they're here. But it was strange to have all these people be like, I'm at Nintendo and we listen to your podcast, and the thing you said about like Zelda this one time was like just had me standing up and shouting because it was like that's so true. And it's like, oh wow, okay. And then like we're at Microsoft and we're listening to your stuff all the time, and I'll pass your stuff on to Phil. I'm like, oh, don't do that. You don't need to do that.
'Cause I'm going to just get louder and louder about Crimson Skies now that I know that. That's fantastic to know.
Yeah, so that was fun to hear. It's like, okay, I guess people are listening at these companies, but in that case, hello, Phil.
And I also just really enjoy getting to spend so much time with you, with Tam and Jan and Lucy. Like, the four of us had a lot of time together, which I thought was really cool and really special. And a highlight was definitely when we got everybody to the Cheesecake Factory. Which was funny enough, and then somehow Ben Starr joined us for like 30 minutes, the voice of Clive from Final Fantasy 16. I was like, all right, Ben Starr, these are pretzel bites. Make sure you dunk them in that nacho cheese. He's like, oh, okay. Like, very polite about it. It's just incredible. He's like, oh, that's interesting.
I said goodbye to him at the hotel, and he's like, yeah, anytime you want to like make another funny video of me like drinking stuff, anytime. I'm like, sure thing, but next time pretzel bites on me again for sure. We'll go back to Cheesecake Factory. I made him laugh. I don't know what was so funny about that, Ben Starr, but apparently he thought it was funny.
He is just so nice. He's so precious, and he must be protected.
Yes, so I am a big Ben Starr fan. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think everybody is. Hey, there's Jan.
Hey, Jan.
Jan, are you sure that your save file, the one you thought didn't carry over, like, when you beat the game, it does just start you back before the Ganon fight, right?
What is it? Like, it has a star by it if you beat it, right?
Yeah, does your save file have a Ben Starr by it or something, Jan?
It was always my hunch that you did beat it. It did save. It all clicked in.
Did transfer.
And it did. There's an ellipses from Jan and Joa, everybody. Incredible. That's the best.
Incredible. Well, that's hi, Jan.
I agree, Mike. Yes, it was awesome to hang out with like the team and just like do stuff every day, and everyone's so cool and nice. So yeah, I had a really good time.
And we'll talk about some of the games we played. Thursday.
Because we talked about Wonder. That was the only real Nintendo thing. I mean, there's a couple stuff that might be on Nintendo, but we'll talk about the rest of the stuff on Thursday. I got a list of games I played that I'm ready to talk about.
Fantastic. Well, why don't we take a break right now? We'll come back with a couple other little news/rumor things and some super chats, and then we have some questions from the community. We got plenty more Nintendogging to do, so stick around, everybody.
Okay. Ad is going on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I need, you know what? That reminds me. Champion here. That reminds me. I need to ask if Lucy's
this
doing
is gonna go
tomorrow.
at the end of the podcast as well.
She might be zonked out.
But I'm ready to go back whenever you are.
Let me just send this real quick and then we'll go.
Cool.
Okay, it's working fine.
Okay, Mike, whenever you want to bring it back in.
All right, let's go. And we are back. Jeff, a couple things here. First off, Nintendo's announced new Animal Crossing New Horizons themed Switch lights out on October 20th.
Really? I completely missed this.
Yeah, they're going to be $200 available at Target and Walmart in the U.S.
Really? That's interesting.
Timmy and Tommy's Aloha Edition and Isabel's Aloha Edition. They look pretty nice, but strange timing. I guess those games are still very popular, probably very popular to play on the Switch Lite, but man,
that is like one thing where it's like I guess I suppose the Switch is at a point in its life cycle where this isn't much of a problem, but just talking to a couple people from Microsoft about the wraps versus doing a special Starfield version of the Xbox Series X, and it's like, man, a wrap is probably way more cost effective, and like the margins on that are probably much greater than having to spin up a facility just to make the right paints for this other system that you're already making somewhere else. And they're like, yeah, that's exactly right. We're going to make more money. It's going to be cheaper for everybody. It's more, it fits better. So it's like Nintendo's still being in that era where they're doing this late in the cycle for the Switch Lite. It is weird. It's odd. I suppose I don't know what the solution is here because they didn't go the faceplate route this time around.
Well, just like the solution is they're making a new system soon. It'll be interesting to see if there is maybe something inherently in there that's. I mean, you had that a little bit the Joy-Cons because the Joy-Cons are so much of the normal Switch. The color of your Joy-Cons, the style of Joy-Cons. But even then, there weren't a lot of like special Joy-Cons separate from systems, really.
Yeah, I mean, there was a handful here and there, but you're right. Most of the time, it was like, we're going to pair these up with the system. I bet a lot of times those special ones got sold separately in Japan, and we just weren't lucky enough to get that. But for the Switch Lite, I mean, I could use a new Switch Lite. The right analog on my Switch Lite that I got for review years ago went bad, and like it doesn't click in anymore. And then the thumb grip on the other analog stick rubbed off. So I'm like, I hate using this thing. I could fix it myself, but it's like, I had bad luck doing that with the original Switch. And it's only $200 for a Switch Lite. But I've said that before, and I haven't bought one yet. So it's like, maybe this is a reason to get one. I probably still won't get a replacement. I probably still just will fix the one I have. But it's like, okay, this gives me an opportunity to consider that once again, I guess.
I think they missed a trick here by not giving us Gino and Mallow Switch Lights. Come on, Gino and Mallow bring more boys to the yard than Animal Crossing these days.
I would drink their milkshakes, yes.
All right, fantastic. We're really relevant with these references.
I think that song came back, so that's not too bad.
Oh, good. Yes, good. Jeff, there's I don't know if you saw much of this. There's more Nintendo Direct rumors. Again, there's some people saying one next week. What do you think? What have you heard?
I think I think the people saying, well, there's got to be a September Direct. And it's like, well, that last one technically was September in Japan. And people don't want to hear that. But also maybe they're also right. Where it's like, maybe that doesn't actually count. I think a Direct still coming this month is possible. I don't know for sure. All I ever heard was there was a Direct coming. And then something was going to be happening relatively soon. Relatively, I don't know. I cannot pin it down with Metroid Prime 2 Remaster. So, hey, if that's still going to happen, maybe they have a Direct to talk about it. I also think it's just as likely that they've talked about what they've said, or previously, they've already had all these points to talk about the big games that are coming out this year. And if there is something like a Metroid Prime 2 Remaster that's going to drop in December or January, well, they could just do they could do a Direct next year to win and like shadow drop it like they did with Metroid Prime 1, or they could just announce it on Twitter and YouTube, something they've also done before. So it's like, for me, having that little tidbit of information, something's happening with Metroid Prime 2 Remaster, is not enough to convince me, based on what I know, that there's definitely going to be a Direct. But also, there's no reason to assume there wouldn't be, other than the fact that they just had Wonder. But just real quick, and then we'll go into more of this, but being at Nintendo Live and being able to play Super Mario Brothers Wonder and having them do like their stage stuff and have a couple of YouTube videos go up from Nintendo Live, it makes sense that they did a Super Mario Brothers Wonder Direct before that, so they could have that in place, ready to lead into Nintendo Live. So it's like, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe there is a Direct coming.
Cat Mione, and I'm sorry if I said that wrong, has a good point in chat that we still haven't gotten that Charles Martinet tribute that they said was coming.
Have you seen the stuff about him? Do you have that in the rundown?
Yeah, he did a Q&A at there's another con happening this weekend as a
Gen Con or something.
I forget. Some people help me out there. Galaxy Con maybe. And like they're like, what does being a Nintendo ambassador means? Like, I don't know.
I said, I don't know what that means yet. We'll find out together. It's like, wait, what? And he also said, I'm not retiring. Like, oh, okay, all right. So, this is different. I mean, people are right about like this is Nintendo probably being weird. This is probably Nintendo being weird.
Yeah, it's definitely Nintendo being a little bit weird. Okay, and that's it then for those subjects. Jeff, we've gotten a bunch of super chats and maybe a message or two from our subscribers here on YouTube. Would you like to read these, please?
Yeah, let's start here with El Grug. What was the worst thing Mike did at PAX? Mike, what was the worst thing you did?
I repeated that joke about pulling out
several times. Yeah, that's okay. That was definitely the worst thing he's done. Absolutely.
I did that a lot, but that was kind of fun.
From Chrono Rig, let's see here. Hey, Jeff, since you watch 24, do you ever look at Mike and think his part of that he is some part of a sleeper cell agent? Lol. And Nintendo Live looked amazing. Yeah, I think that about Mike all the time. That he's probably secretly a terrorist.
To be honest, I had to be the least likely person to be a sleeper agent.
Which makes you the perfect sleeper agent. Yes.
Which makes me the perfect sleeper agent.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
there you go.
Just as long as nothing Disney related is your trigger word, because then that would have happened already. Let's see. True Fernie, thank you for taking the time to talk with me and the advice after your Saturday panel. It was great to finally meet both of y'all. Shout out to the superheroes of PAX West. Thank you, Fernie, for coming out. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's a good time hanging out with you. Let's see. T-Bucket 23. If Quest for Camelot is coining NSO, is coming to NSO. Surely Warner Brothers will allow Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout on NES NSO, right? I mean, there is no rhyme or reason to this. I don't even understand. Like, who at Nintendo? How did this game even come up for consideration? I don't know.
Like, what? There had to be like a mix-up.
There's like two possibilities, right? It is like someone at Warner Brothers just was like going through their stuff and was like, we have the full rights to this. We could just offer this one to Nintendo. Or someone in Nintendo carries a weird torch for Quest for Camelot for the Game Boy Color. That one I find hard to believe, though. But who knows?
Yeah, I'm just very confused because we have barely any licensed games on NSO.
Okay,
Sean and I know it's like a big
Sean and Nick are saying that Nintendo co-published the game. So
okay, well, Nintendo published those Hamtaro games for Game Boy Advance. We better freaking get those.
Oh, we will get those eventually.
We better.
All right, let's see here. From Steph Tendo. Could we see Nintendo Live as a traveling convention in the U.S.? Probably not.
There was a lot to it. I think you'd have to scale it down even from when it was if you want to start making a traveling thing. They've done traveling things, and it's usually like a bus, and they like pop it up in malls.
They do a tour bus. Yeah, I've been on that tour bus before. It's pretty cool. What they do is usually with that bus is they'll take it from city to city, and they'll talk to like the local journalists, like the people who work at the Columbus Dispatch. And then if there's anybody in the video game press that's in town, like me, they'll be like, hey, yeah, you want to come out and play fucking Typo Man for Wii U, which I absolutely did. They are very unlikely to take what happened in Seattle elsewhere because they're in Seattle. All this stuff is in Seattle. That makes it cheap and makes it make a lot of sense and enables like more of their team to go and have a presence there. And
it's easy for Doug Bowser to be there and for us to bother him and make him take a picture with us, even though he doesn't know who we are.
Yes. And if he would have known who we were, he would have kicked us out. Yes. And like Phil Spencer could come hang out for a day because he's in town too. Like it's just, it makes a lot of sense for them.
Phil Spencer can play all these adorable mascot platformers and then wonder, man, if only we had one of these. Oh, well.
Oh, well, that's impossible. From Antonio Morales. I've been playing Bayonetta Origins, and it is better than I expected. What game from your backlog are you definitely playing by the end of this year?
Definitely, it's hard just because of the way the year is.
I feel like there's no definitely's.
On Nintendo specifically, I'm not sure. Like I said I was going to try to play Octopath Traveler 2, and now I like Sea of Stars so much that is so much more a priority. We'll see about Octopath. I really want to play that System Shock remake. I think that's a really value game from this year. And then you see that Jedi Survivor got a new performance patch today that I think is supposed to be a lot better. So my patience there.
It got DLSS on or like 3.0 on PC at the very least. So it's like that would be very good.
So my patience has paid off there.
Yes. For me, it's like in terms of Nintendo, I have a game that's not out yet that's already on my backlog, and it's Fae Farm. It's like, man, I want to play that, but I don't know when I'm going to have time. So it's like I'm already mentally putting that on the backlog.
I just picked up Fae Farm for our Metacritic League or whatever, so I'm having high hopes for Fae Farm now.
Yes, good luck.
They had a big booth at PAX.
Yeah. Phoenix Labs is like always kind of showing up with that stuff, and then I guess now they're doing Fae Farm. I think Fae Farm's going to do very well in terms of like getting an audience on the Switch, but we'll have to see how it does critically. Yeah, I don't know. Beyond that, there's I'm like mostly through the games I was going to play on the Switch. Maybe next year, if I get a little bit of time, I might put a little more time into Fire Emblem. What is it?
Engage.
Thank you.
Engage.
But that's not for this year. No. From Shigeru Miyamoto. He says,
that's right. You got to play Resident Evil 4, you son of a bitch. Thank you, Christian.
He says, I'm listening, Jeff. Thank you, Shiggy.
Thanks, Fraser.
I appreciate that. That's good looking out.
Every once in a while we're in Seattle, I'll just turn to Jeff and start going, oh, maybe I hear those blues are called. Toss salads and scrambled eggs.
And I told everyone they were being such a Niles. And it was a lot of fun.
Did we have plans that we were going to ask everybody who's Fraser's main, and we just never did that?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, here's the line, the merch line. We could just go do that, and then I don't know. Jan had to like be going like 5 different directions to get like B-roll and stuff. So it was
sure.
Willow Davis, can't wait to discuss Switch's hidden gems today.
Sorry, not today. We'll do that for next week for real. You hear me, mods? Make that thread now. Next week for real. Switch hidden gems.
From Christopher Minotti, who is a member for 13 months. What was one positive and negative thing about sharing a hotel room with Mike Zors? The positive thing is when I lost my room key, or thought I did, Mike had one, and he's very responsible on that stuff.
You're welcome. Yeah, so Jeff lost his hotel key, went to the front desk to get a new one. Then, as he went to put the new one in his wallet, found the old one in there.
Look, I don't. Listen, that's accurate, but somehow it feels inaccurate still. Yeah, and then a negative thing is just all of the hose he brought back to the hotel room.
You liked those.
I love the hose. You're right. I do. I would never touch the hose. It was a great time. And then Wavy Crockett, direct win direct. I don't know. Wavy Crockett, you tell me.
Maybe this month, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe this month, maybe not. Does that help? It's probably not going to be the week of Labor Day. I'll tell you that much. I think that it's
not this week.
On a short week, you're gonna and coming off of Nintendo Live. PR is busy. The people that weren't at Nintendo Live taking a day off, and then you're gonna. Yeah. I mean, it's just very unlikely. It could still happen, but I would bet if it is September,
even
next week sounds right.
That's going around was saying next week. So that's what the rumor is
next week sounds right to me.
Want to get your hopes up about a time frame? People are saying next week, not us.
Right.
We are not.
Yep.
We're not saying it's not going to happen.
Right. We just don't know.
But we just don't know.
Yep. Mike, that does it for the super chats so far.
Well, that is fantastic. Why don't we take another little break here, and then we will get into the questions we've been getting from the community this week.
Sounds good.
I am going to run to the bathroom right after I open the.
Right.
Okay, I'm creating this thread now.
All right. You do what you got to do.
I do what I got to do.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
You got beat to it, Christian.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, Nick got it.
Okay.
He played the lady that looks like Ryu with the gi first. Who's that? Rose?
What?
In Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Makoto? Yeah.
Yes, Makoto. And then
Mike's a big Makoto fan.
I just destroyed him with Ken. So then Miles comes and plays, and Miles wasn't a threat. Sorry, Miles, you beat me really bad in basketball, but you weren't a threat at all in Street Fighter 3. And then
this is why I need to go to PAX to show these people what's up.
So you can lose to me too.
Brina, you got that fancy new leverless. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Then Mike comes in with basically the Remy, the French guile, and because he's like, oh, okay, Mike, he's playing as Ken. I'm gonna play as the guy that could be defensive against him, and he definitely beat me the second time, but then the third time I was like, I stayed on the ground. I didn't jump into his all
You adjusted against my.
I adjusted enough.
Download complete.
Oh, you got downloaded.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yep.
I was playing emo French Guile, and he figured it out eventually.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
barely.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Those
Good
boom
time.
don't travel that fast with that.
By the way, Christian, this goes at the end of the show, right?
Yeah, this goes at the end of the
Okay,
show.
I need it on record. Y'all got by Nick. Mike, Dragon Con is where everyone goes to have sex. Charles Martinet was not there.
Really?
He was at Galaxy Con.
I got it right.
Got it right.
Why is Dragon Con the sex one?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Why am I not there?
Yeah. Why? Like, how do we get an invite
I mean,
to
they
that
named
one?
the dildos after it. Like, what do you think?
Is that like a furry con? Is that why?
No, it's
Is it-
just
is it like
it's
cosplayers are like-
slowly- Yeah,
Horny
it just like
cosplayers?
slowly
Well,
just
that's
devolved
interesting.
into that, you know. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, I'll be there next year.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me to avoid it.
All right. Well, listen. That's
Honestly, I don't know. I see in these conventions or something
Go
like
on.
there's a lot of I don't know,
yeah.
people actually in cosplay in real life. It's really sexy. It's always interesting. I'm not saying they look bad, but there's nothing sexy about it. A lot
I
of
think
times.
the
There's a
ones at
lot of
Dragon Con probably are a little bit more scintillating than the guy that made his over the weekend.
We'll see.
All right.
So, yeah, like Mike, picture fucking Karlak or whoever from Baldur's Gate 3, but they're just in a bikini.
Oh, there was actually a
Like,
very
that's-
good
it
Carla.
was a good car, and that one was scintillating. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, of
Hey,
course.
more
Well,
thumbs
it's
up,
just that
please.
character.
More thumbs up, please.
Okay, Mike demands.
We're
Mike,
behind our thumbs up quota.
Thou
Don't
hast
make me
demanded.
Italian.
like the
with my
video.
hand gestures.
Okay, you better continue.
I'm very happy with how this objection
It looks great.
pillow looks
Yeah.
there, but like really just slotted in
Gives you
there nicely.
power.
Yep. It pops. It pops on video.
All right, let's get back to it. And we're back. Jeff, we've got questions from our patrons, our friendos over on our special Discord channels. Let's read these.
Yeah, let's do it.
Casual says, "Dear Mike, honorary Twink Minotti and Jeff, honorary Twonk Grubb." So, by the way, Bailey put up the new Honest Game trailers was for Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, and she used like one of my things, so I got a credit, which is fun. I'm a little sad she didn't use my suggestion for like the fake game name at the end, which was Twink the Time Sweeper.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Yeah, the one they had, I won't spoil. The one they did use is also very good though. But I was pretty proud of Twink the Time Sweeper. Anyways,
that's good.
Casual says, "What was the free bread situation like at PAX? Very little of it.
Yeah.
Almost none.
Yeah, almost zero.
In
Surprisingly.
So we went to like the nicer restaurant in the hotel for dinner the one night, and I had this pasta dish, this short rib ragu that was amazing. It was so good. But my one complaint was we didn't get bread with our meal, even at this nicer restaurant where, it was getting a pretty nice entree. Like, because I would have loved to sop up that sauce with some bread. It was.
Yeah, you had to take my fries,
good.
which I was done with.
Yeah, I did. I made sure that way, but I was just like taking fries, like just scooping them around that sauce.
And then I did the same thing. And that rigatoni sauce was delicious.
It was good. How long would the two of you manage to be roomies before resorting to elbow dropping each other?
Oh, like a
P.S.
day and a
Jeff,
half, but I like elbow dropping.
using a chip. We were roomies for more than a day and a half just now. Jeff, using a chiptune cover
you
of a
elbow
Joe
drop me.
Cocker song is some inspired out of left field hilarity. Never change.
Yeah, sure. No, I have to change because we got DMCA'd for that. So, but I'll try not to change in other ways.
Yeah. Edith Kirkwise says, "Dear Nintendogs, what animal would you be if you were a kaiju-style monster, and what would the terrified citizens of Columbus call you?" Gosh, we had a question at the Dump Truck Live about what animals we are, and but let's do this. Okay, Jeff, I'll do you and you do me.
Okay.
I should have just actually played the soundboard thing here. Why did I?
Oh, wait, this
where
is
it? We have so many
this is
of
the
these.
new thread. I'm trying to find this thread.
There we
All
go.
right.
All right, Jeff. Let's do each other here.
Okay.
That's it. Let's do each other here. Is what it is. Okay. I don't know. Jeff would be. I think it's funny if he's just Jeff.
Just
so
kind of
Jeff-
like stumbling around, being a little clumsy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Jeff. I don't think there should be that much effort put into it. He should just be Jeff Zilla.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's see. I think Mike would be like a boar. I think some sort
A
of
boar.
Yes.
Like a bebop.
Yes, like a bebop. Exactly. And I think they would call you Pigman. But here comes
Okay.
Pigman.
Did you have to read the Pigman books in high school?
No, but I do
I had to
remember
read
the Pigman skit with Tommy Wiseau on Tim and Eric.
I do not remember that.
He's
Anyways,
Pigman.
Hosp says, "Hey, yo, dogs. I've been banging on about Vampire Survivors with my girlfriend for the past year. After finally starting, she managed just the 12 hours of the weekend. What's the best gaming recommendation you have ever given someone?" Okay, ooh, that's interesting. Best game recommendation you've ever given to somebody. It's hard because like the people I talk to video games about the most are my brothers, and they generally know. Like they know
Right.
a lot of the same things I do about video games. So it's not too often I have to be like, "Hey, you should play this game called Super Mario Odyssey," you know, right? Like they're going to generally know about that. And like a lot of games, like I know that they won't like that I do. Like they're not as into the JRPGs or stuff as I am. So I don't know. I'm like struggling like a little bit to think of something really good here.
I'm kind of the same. I think I mean, Steph got super into Pikmin after I recommended that to her forever and ever ago. And she played through those and now like she loves Pikmin. I guess that counts. But I don't know. We recommended Monster Jam to Bailey the other day when she was saying how she's into card games, and I felt good about that one.
It's hard. I feel like I am slightly less particular than a lot of people. Like tell me if I'm wrong, but in general, I'm game for a lot of different genres, a lot of different kinds of games.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I counter people, it's a lot like, okay, well, this person doesn't like a talkie game or an RPG, or they're not going to be into like the sim things here. So it's harder for me to really zero in on what I think. Like there's a lot of times where, for example, you will recommend something to me like a Pikmin, and I will finally get into it. And I feel like there's less of that going the other way. Maybe.
Yes.
It's hard for me to be like, you need to play this game that's not on your radar from me.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
And when I do, you mock me like Resident Evil 4.
Yes, that's also right.
That will be the answer, is when Jeff finally plays Resident Evil 4 and has
played
the
it.
best time ever. You played it for 2 hours, you son
No,
of a bitch.
I beat it on the GameCube.
Oh my god, you shut the hell up with that. That gets me so mad. I know you keep laughing. You keep joking. It makes me so mad that you even would joke about that. You son of a bitch. Sephiroth says, "Dear Nintendogs, what Nintendo-inspired mods would you like to see in Starfield, or platform-specific content in the event of a port to Switch?" Oh, Skyrim for Switch had Zelda gear added. Would be interesting to see when the official modding tools for Starfield appear. I mean, if they put Starfield on like the Switch too, and they just had some Metroid shit in there, that'd be, or some Pikmin stuff too. That's sci-fi.
Man,
also, those are the
that's
two
cool.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
I guess Star Fox also. There's all sorts of sci-fi stuff. But yeah, you could easily make a ship that looks like an R-wing.
What this
Definitely.
Starfield? Drop the field. Add the tropics.
Oh fuck, let's go.
Yeah, there you go. A full
go.
conversion mod. Star Tropics 3.
Yeah. Man, I still get upset about Samus's new ship that she has in Fusion and Dread.
Her new
That like
ship?
wider, the new NEW, not nude. Ships can't be naked, you idiot.
Wow, that's not
Like it looks.
not
It doesn't
that
look nearly as,
attitude.
it doesn't look nearly as good as that little clamshell orange thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the original Samus, the original Samus ship is classic, of course. I mean, you said them all, so I'll just pick one of the ones you said. I think a Star Fox one could be fun.
Crouching Boomer Hidden Zoomer says, "How?"
Upside down and backwards.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
DMC Depressed Me Crying says, "Hello, Mike. Hey, anyone remember that Suicide Squad game?" And Jeff, remember when this was an Arby's podcast? If your co-host suddenly gained Kirby's mouthful mode ability, what item would they be most excited to use it on, and what would they do with that item? I would use it on all 19 inches. Oh, your co-host Jeff would use it on all 19 inches of Venom.
Okay. Of course, I don't need mouthful mode to do that. Yeah, let's see. But Mike would probably use it on the spaceship Earth at Epcot,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
just he just wants to feel it inside him.
I do. You're right. Screaming Matt says, "Hey, Jeff, Harbaugh, Grubb, and Mike, OSU Buckeyes fan, I guess, Minotti. Kind of.
Meh.
Just not that into college football in general. Which college football season back, I do my yearly rabbit hole search of old CFB program art. My favorite CFB artwork is this sculpted art from 1936 Duquesne Duke / Pittsburgh Panthers game, which gives me some serious Nintendo Power vibes. It does. And by the way, my brother AJ went to Duquesne. He was a Duke himself. He graduated there. He played in the marching band. I saw some Duquesne Duke games.
Wow.
You think Nintendo Power got their inspiration for their clay sculptures from pictured sculptured art similar to this pit poster? This is funny, Jeff, because there was a whole Nintendo Power gallery that we saw at PAX, which was really cool, and it included some of these sculpts that they used to do, including the Wily 2 and his giant, Wily capsule. That was a lot of fun. It is a very distinctive style here. I mean, I think this is probably more coincidence than anything. Just people messing around with clay at the time, right?
Similar origins for sure, but they probably weren't thinking like anything along. Yeah, they're probably just like, hey, let's hire a sculptor.
Well,
you all right?
Sorry, I just scrolled down. I scrolled down. I looked ahead a little bit. Beefhammer has written the longest paragraph ever.
Do you want me to? Here, I'll handle this. You just keep reading. I'll handle this.
Okay. Slime Dick Awesome says, "Hey, Doggerinos, after the hit of the century with Starfield's Children of the Sky, for what Nintendo game would you want Imagine Dragons to make a song next? Also, what band / artist would you actually want to make a song for a game?" It'd be incredible if they just actually did a song for Super Mario Wonder. But I don't know. Like me, contemporary music, isn't exactly my strong suit. I think if Taylor Swift did something for the next Animal Crossing, that would be kind of fun. I think that would, as the kids used to say, break the internet, Jeff.
Yes. Yes, just like that lady's butt did that one time.
Yes, Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Although, I didn't realize that was a fake butt, so I don't know.
Well, if you could touch it, is it fake?
I mean, it depends what it feels like, I guess. Vision 49 says, played Hexen for the first time this year. Despite its puzzles and levels doing things that would never fly today, I really loved it. What's a game you love despite a lot of pain points or bullshit? Star Tropics, maybe, actually. Because that game has a really weird tile-based control system, and by the end of the game gets real. There's a difficulty spike for no reason that's very obnoxious that I do not love. But just the Star Tropics is a vibe more than anything else, Jeff.
Yes. I never got the sense that you're like, hey, this is some of the best gameplay ever. Pain points and bullshit are some of the stuff I really like. Everyone's having the encumbrance conversation again. And I'm like, if you idiots take away my encumbrance, this thing that I know is a pain in the ass, but I like having to get around it, I'm going to be real upset. I like when games push back against me.
I've had my complaints with Starfield. I'm a little confused about the encumbrance thing. Well, you're not supposed to be picking up everything.
Right.
The whole point of that system is to be like, hey, don't pick up everything, and you need to be thinking about your inventory and selling things.
Right. Be judicious with your decisions there. And then when you do get something that's worth a lot, that doesn't weigh a lot, it's like, man, that's awesome. I can go sell this thing, get a lot of money, and just get that's such a big return on investment. You're it's part of the economy.
It's just, I know. It's just a certain a style of gamer that if they can do something, they will. So if they can pick everything up, they just kind of do. And they get mad it doesn't work that way. I don't know. That's maybe sounding like belittling or
well, I mean, here's the good news. It's a Bethesda game. It's in the console. Just turn it off. Give yourself 1 million encumbrance or whatever, 1 million carry weight.
Cyberfield says, now that Starfield is here and it's the highest rated game of the year, what concessions will Nintendo make to have the game on the Switch akin to Baldur's Gate 3 and the Series S? This question was sent on August 30th. I may be very right or very wrong. We shall see.
Somewhere in between. Not very wrong, but definitely not very right.
This game can't run on Switch. There's no impossible port that could happen. No.
I mean, if the Switch 2 has DLSS, this thing might be able to run on that thing. But if it doesn't, I'm even worried about the follow-up console because it's a big, heavy game. What's that?
Fuck the cloud.
Yeah.
Cloud can eat shit. How about that? Shoshiko says, hey there, Mike. Kirk Wiseman, naughty, damn it. And Jeff, I keep hitting my butt. Jeff, high score Grubb.
Goddamn right.
If you could have multiple composers collaborate on a video game soundtrack, who would your dream team be And what game series would it be?
I would like for David Wise and Grant Kirkhope to work together. Maybe become one person.
Yeah, very funny. I would like for Yoko Shimomura of Street Fighter 2 and Kingdom Hearts fame to work with Soken from Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 16 there. I want them to work together on a Square Enix game. How about that?
I want like a Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross riff on all of the John Williams Star Wars stuff. I want like a underground, grimy Star Wars game with the Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross team doing the music for it.
All right, Jeff, what's with this Beef Hammer post?
Okay, so listen, he did write all this. I have bullet points here of what he's actually saying here. Can I just read those?
Yes, please.
All right, consider a 2D Metroid game from the perspective of enemies for a unique twist. Metroid Prime 3's departure from the series' roots and excessive dialogue didn't sit well with some fans. Prime Hunters, Federation Force, and other M may be left behind as Nintendo focuses on mainline titles for the Switch. Motion controls and VR could offer exciting possibilities. Nintendo has yet to fully embrace VR technology. Skipping 2D Metroid in favor of focusing on Prime 4 and exploring VR options might be worth considering. That's like...
You missed the part at the end where he says, "What are your thoughts? Please be brief with them."
Yes.
No.
Moving on.
Tyler James Bay says, "Sorry, I didn't catch Beef Hammer's question. Can you repeat that, please?" No.
Oh, God.
Tokyo Game Life says, real quick, do you resent the fact a little bit that, like with Metroid, we got a new 2D Metroid, we're getting a new 3D Metroid. Zelda, we got 3D Zeldas, Mario, new 3D Mario, new 2D Mario. At least yet, we haven't really gotten a new 2D quote. I know it's not 2D, but you know what I mean. A new like old style Zelda game, the top down kind of thing. You think it's still in the future?
I mean, the only reason I'm okay with that is I'm assuming that's coming and not too far off. Like that's where I'm at. But yeah, if it's not, God, because like they're not even putting those goddamn GameCube HD ports onto the Switch. So it's like, well, maybe they'll do that before they would get around to doing a 2D Zelda. I don't know, but yes, I think it will happen eventually.
And some people might consider Link's Awakening remake, but it's a little different. Tokyo Game Life says, "Is Switch 2 destined to sell less hardware and software compared to the Switch? Every time Nintendo released an iterative console, it has sold less than the one which introduced a new concept. What can Nintendo do to ensure Switch 2 matches or exceeds its predecessor?"
I think that it probably will kind of just carry the momentum forward. And maybe it'll have a shorter life cycle or something than the Switch one. But other than that, I think it's going to probably be pretty close to what the Switch one was. I think
they could just continue riding this momentum of Nintendo becoming just such a powerhouse brand.
Right.
Maybe the momentum can just keep carrying into the Switch 2 instead of it feeling like a frustrating reset, like maybe the Wii U did for a lot of people, even the Super NES compared to the NES for some people. But we'll see. Fish and Love says, "Wanted to ask a question, but Beef Hammers took too much time. It is now 1 a.m. I need to go to bed. See you next week." Fair enough. Cringe Basketball says they should make Elephant Donkey Kong a thing. Am I right? Well, Jeff, do you think that those playable characters we have seen are actually all the playable characters that will be in that game?
I hope that there are more hidden characters, and I hope they go as creative as Donkey Kong and Wario and Waluigi. But I don't think they will. To be clear, I don't think they will. I hope they do.
I think it'll probably just be like Rosalina you get at the end again, which is what we had in 3D World, which I'd like. I like Rosalina.
Right, that's fine. Totally.
Gerber says, "Hey, do you think Nintendo will be more or less aggressive than other platform holders in transferring the next-gen exclusivity? The recent Denuvo fucking boo announcement and ever-lowering bar for Switch emulation makes me think Switch piracy must be an increasing worry for Nintendo."
Do you think Nintendo will be more or less aggressive than other platform holders in transferring to next-gen exclusivity?
Yeah, I don't quite understand what that question means.
I don't fully follow that, Gerber. Okay. He's asking, do we think that the games that Nintendo are going to put out as the Switch 2 comes out will be cross-gen or not?
Oh, I think there will be a Switch. I know you think there's gonna be a grace period, and maybe I think
I don't think there
very
will be,
quickly
actually.
Switch 2 games are going to be Switch 2 games.
Yes, because I mean, people will want to move on quick because the audience that Nintendo has is the audience who want to buy their hardware and want to buy the games on the new system right away.
There's a part of me that wonders, like, does Sony and Microsoft regret having so much cross-gen stuff for as long as they did? But then,
I mean, the way those games sold on last-gen hardware, I don't think they regret it.
yeah, I mean, what you hear is like negative sentiment around that, but then you have sales, and then you have weird things like Jedi Survivors like coming to last-gen consoles after the fact.
Yep.
So I don't know. All right, next one here is from Chuck, 1991. It says, "Dear Dogs, as excited as I am for Wonder, I'm bummed that Bowser's the antagonist yet again. Last mainline Mario game where the big bad wasn't Bowser, was Wario in Super Mario Land in 1992. Do you think we'll ever get a unique Mario villain in the mainline series again? Would Miyamoto have to retire for this to happen?" I think it's a good point. I don't think I necessarily need it to be Bowser every single time.
I would be like them to sprinkle Ward in every once in a while. I mean, something new would be good too. But I don't know. They have other stuff they could do, and they don't. I
mean, it's like here you have the thing like Bowser's become a castle, so that's something.
Yeah, right. Yes, we'll go inside him yet again. I think it's I'm mostly okay with this because it's not like I'm coming here for the lore, but I think it would be cute if they had other villains.
Jackie G says, "Well, howdy there, you naughty hounds. What is in your opinion the best feeling game ever made? For example, what I mean, Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey might be the answer. Metroid Dread did feel
Metroid Dread
very good.
Popped in my head. There's this game called Armored Core 6.
It feels pretty good.
That feels very good. Holy shit! Like I've been playing that game nonstop. It really is getting its hooks in me. That game's really good. But yeah, Metroid Dread's a really good answer. That game feels fantastic.
Futsack says, "What game would most benefit from licensing or circumventing the patented Nemesis system? Personally, I would love it in an open world Zelda like Tears of the Kingdom."
That'd be good in Zelda.
It'd be okay. It would work okay. I don't necessarily need it in
No,
Zelda.
you don't need it, but it could work. It'd be cool. What's the one that came out recently that was like, man, it would have been nice if they could have done that, but I can't remember. There was some open world game. I think it was even from Warner Brothers, but I'm not able to.
What was it? Freaking Gotham City or Gotham Knights or whatever.
Yeah, Gotham Knight would have been good. Yeah, sure.
Would have been fine there, actually. Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man would work. I guess we should say something Nintendo-y. So, open world Star Fox game where you have like, I don't know, mercenaries and stuff that you can kind of like shoot down. They get their little escape pods and they come back for you. I think that could be fun.
Wario World 2.
There you go. Jat Bing says, "Hey Nintendogs, I'm going to LA next week solo. I want to see the Universal Hollywood theme park with the Mario expansion. Are there any recommendations and other things to do? Is it worth the extra travel to Disneyland if I've been to Disney World already?" I mean, of course, I think Disneyland is very much worth doing. You're going to want a whole day there at least, and it is not exactly the easiest thing in the world to travel to Disneyland from like Hollywood. It could be, or LA. It could be a little bit of a pain.
You're going to get a bus.
At least an hour.
Get a bus, yeah.
It'll take an hour. But yeah, so like, I'll leave that to you. I think if you went to Disneyland, you'd have a fantastic time. If you want to stay around Hollywood, I mean, there's a lot of other things to do at Universal Hollywood. Like that could be a whole day.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could do like the City Walk stuff. Go, pay tribute to Jimmy Buffett at Margaritaville, of course.
Of course. I think I'm going to Margaritaville tomorrow we're going to the Guardians game tomorrow. I think we're going to stop by Margaritaville and get a margarita.
Rip.
Yep. But I don't know. Like, I don't think going to like Hollywood itself, like that street, whatever it's called, is really worth it. It's pretty depressing and dingy. I don't know if there's really much to do there. You can look at the stars on the sidewalk and have somebody in a disturbing SpongeBob SquarePants outfit try to hustle you for money.
Go to the indoor-outdoor market from La La Land. Like, look it up. You'll be able to find. I can't remember what it's called. And then go near the end of the day. And one of the places will have free bread, and you can have the same free bread that Mike Minotti took to our Airbnb.
Look, I'm not a big fan of LA. I'll be honest.
I like LA a lot, but only because it's not San Francisco.
It's better than San Francisco. Sorry to all of our friends who live in these two places. I mean, when I'm in LA, I would like to be in the theme parks, to be honest. Maybe you could call me incredibly white, but I feel better protected there.
That's an incredibly white thing to say. Definitely. I like all the dingy LA stuff because it reminds me of all those movies from LA.
Yeah. Man, Discord's just really hating my video feed today.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're all
What's going
smeary,
on
but
with your video?
you sound fine, so I didn't want we're fine.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah,
move on.
I'll turn let me turn the camera off and on real quick.
Okay.
All right.
You guess what's gonna happen?
Uh-oh.
Give it a second.
Oh,
Sure.
there you go. Oh,
There it goes.
beautiful.
We did it.
Shiny.
Oh yeah, Koreatown is nice. They got some really good food. There's really good food in LA. Do that.
Little Tokyo was very fun, actually.
Yes,
Go to
Little Tokyo was great as well.
We had a very good time in Little Tokyo. Okay, I gotta go back to the questions. Next one here is from Dr. Ryan, who also said hi to us. So thank you so much, Dr. Ryan. He says, when I was very tired at PAX, I mistakenly called Macho Man Randy Savage, Randy Man Macho Savage. My friends are still laughing at me about it. What's your best funny word mix-up? Well, there was something about a little game called Terra Enigma that one time, Jeff. Also, it's 1 a.m. at PAX right now. We ate more of the vending machine pizza, but from a machine at the other Hyatt. It was good. It refused to sell us a hot salad. Yeah, was Dr. Ryan the one who told you that the vending machine pizza was good?
I don't remember anyone saying anything about the quality of it.
No, because when I
if
tweeted
someone
about
said
it,
it to our face, it was probably Dr. Ryan, because he's the only one I really talked to in person about it.
When I tweeted about it, he replied, "It was good, right?" And I got mad. So, we'll see. There's footage of that I think will be popping up at some point.
Yes,
Me with
exactly.
the vending machine pizza.
I gotta send that to Jan.
Just to make Jeff happy.
Yes, I was very happy. It was a very you were like, I'm hungry. I'm like, vending machine pizza. We got to go do that. And you were like, regretfully, we're just like, all right, fine.
I know. The worst part was when I went to get a drink, and to get my drink, like right next to the vending machine pizza was this very nice looking like deli, like mom and pop place. Amazing looking sandwiches. You could just tell it was authentic. And I was like, God.
The actual best part is, as Mike is waiting for the thing to cook his pizza, I look over his shoulder inside the Starbucks that was right outside, like right next to the vending machine. And every single person in there was staring at Mike, waiting for his vending machine pizza. And eventually they came out, like a couple of them like asked you about it and took pictures of it, right?
Yeah, they're all very intrigued about it.
that was wild. It's don't get too excited. It's not like there's like a little Italian robot in there putting the pizza together.
No,
it's frozen pizza that they just cooked.
It's frozen pizza.
Yep.
It's like Stouffer's frozen pizza. That's all it is. Do you have any word mix-ups you ever done? I mean, I'm sure I've done a bunch.
Yeah, and people listen to my shows. They know how I say stuff.
Not the offensive ones.
Every Japanese name. There you go.
Yeah. A Cruel Angels Leah says, "Hello, Mike. What is Boobanati?" And Jeff, I'll tell you when you're older, Grubb. My upstairs neighbors are so very loud. How can I punish them? Thanks. Love you.
I don't know. There's like a lot of games that have some like really bad like sound. Like just play Yoshi's Island at the loudest setting and just let baby Mario just cry the entire time.
I'd be terrified of this because I always am skeptical of retaliation, because retaliation usually leads to escalation, Jeff.
Yep. I wouldn't
It only gets worse from there. So it's hard. I wish there's a way you can do something very subtly so that they wouldn't know. Is there a fire alarm in your building? I'm joking. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something, Christian? Huh? Want to just pop in here and talk all over me? What do you want to say?
No, they should kill him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say.
All right, well, thank you, Christian, for that suggestion. Fantastic.
Take the batteries out of their smoke alarms. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. Thank you so much. Breadfish says, "Hey, dogs, 2023 is truly an incredible year for gaming. With that in mind, here's my question. Imagine you're walking your dog and it drops a big old deuce.
Sure.
Of course, you brought it back to scoop it up. But is it morally okay to toss the turd in some random person's black plastic trash can on the side of the road? Or does that violate the sovereignty of their trash can and really should carry it all the way home? Inquiring minds need to know. Much love. Thanks." Jeff, I'll let you go first because I have a story.
Yeah. Okay. I think that if the trash can is on the curb, I think you are probably okay. And especially because they're very unlikely to know. Like raccoons go through my trash can pretty much every week. I've never seen these raccoons. I've never once seen them with my own eyes. I've just seen the evidence of their crimes. So you could just, something goes wrong, just blame it on the raccoons. But yeah, I think if it's on the curb, go to town, do what you got to do. If you're like walking up next to someone's house and like their floodlights turn on or something, don't do that. That's weird.
My stepmother did this one time, and a trash can just on this curb on the road, pretty long driveway. Then the next time those people saw her, they chewed her out. They are not happy about it.
People are very precious about this stuff.
I know. I'm on her side. Like, it's trash. What do you want? Just throw it in the trash can. But oh well.
I mean, the thing to yell at someone about is if they leave the dog shit in the yard. That's the thing that you get yelled at. Like someone picking up the poop and putting it in a trash can. That's a win for society.
All right. Jedi Moss Force says, what do we think happened with Pikmin 4's development that took so long? Was it scrapped and rebooted or shelved to work on higher priority projects? Any insight to what happened?
Yeah, I mean, we do have a little bit of insight, I think. Not to Pikmin 4 exactly, but again, going back to Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Nintendo seems to be like, hey, we were putting one of these games out per console. And that means that, these games, we're never going to lower the price on these games ever again. And they're going to keep selling. So why don't we just take more time on our games and actually, see what that can lead to? I think they just gave themselves more time for all these games, including Pikmin 4.
Right. And because apparently there was that quote from Miyamoto from 2015 that said Pikmin 4 is in development and, quote, very close to completion. Now, who knows what that really means?
I think his involvement probably was very close to completion.
Yeah. I mean, that same team did have to work on the deluxing of Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which I don't know how much time or effort that takes. I assume it's that same team anyway. Same thing with Mario. I assume that 2D Mario team did work on the deluxe version of Super Mario Brothers U, right?
Yes, I think so.
So that takes up a little bit of time, not a ton, but there's some there. Yeah. Jump Matt says, "Hey guys, what do you think? Why do you think Nintendo 64 style 3D platformers are so much harder for modern developers to recreate than any other genre of game?"
I don't know if that's not. I mean, I think a lot of developers try to get close with a lot of these like classic games. Even like Chrono Trigger and like Sea of Stars. Like Sea of Stars is like the first one that seems to like have mostly gotten it right in a lot of people's opinions. But people have tried before, and it's like this feels like a photocopy of a photocopy in a lot of ways. So it's just it takes a lot of time to get the game to feel really good. And those games like a Mario 64 feels really good, and that's not just something you turn on in Unity.
Right, and again, like. Part of it is desire. Like we see indies coming at this, but not a lot of other big developers are really making new 3D platformers is kind of the bigger problem.
Yep.
Nick Turbo says, "Hey Jeff, Twat Waffle Grubb
right.
and Mike, current day California shit Minotti. What do you think of this good take from your favorite mod?" Oh, now he's just screenshotting his own comments from other places. It says from Nick Turbo, "Dead Island 2 is better than Super Metroid." Well, you're self-reporting there, so I don't need to say anything else, Nick. If you want to make sure everybody knows that opinion of yours, that's great.
Dead Island 2 is fine. Don't be a crazy person.
Velocity Prime 1 says, "Happy Tuesday to the dogs. Nintendo has gotten into the habit over the past decade or so of stuffing Mario games with a ton of stuff. Stuffing with a ton of stuff after you hit credits. Indeed, more than a third of the game can be found past the ending. Do you think this is a good way to structure the Mario games? Or do you want more of the content up front with a conclusion as a capper?" I mean, we've been seeing this in more Nintendo games. Pikmin 4 very much does this. It's almost a 50-50 split with Pikmin 4.
Starfield's doing some weird stuff, like according to like the talk online of like, oh, the game doesn't really get started until you get credits. Sure, Pete Hines, I'm sure that's right. Whatever. And then now people are playing it, be like, actually, that's really, really true. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I like this structure, especially if it's like, hey, you get the credits way earlier than you think you're going to, so people can have that sense of satisfaction that's so important to so many people. And if you actually like the game, you can keep playing.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Mr. Bowler.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bowler is a psychic.
What, did a naked lady pop up on your computer? What's going on?
I think Mr. Bowler is actually clairvoyant. Hey, Nintendogs, what would you say is the most exotic food you ever tried before? Bonus points to Mike for something that wasn't from Disney World. But then, P.S., there's a very good fan translation patch for Kirby Star Stacker. Says it seems Nintendo didn't bother doing that for the NSO release.
Oh, sure. I see why you thought so. Okay, but yes.
But why is this from 12:23 p.m. today?
He edited it though.
Okay, he edited it.
Look, there's little edit mark there at the end.
That's why I was freaking out. Yep. Okay, thank you. Gosh, the most exotic food I've ever eaten usually, almost certainly is from Walt Disney World.
Well, yeah.
I definitely had. I think I had a lamb tartare once when I was like in France. I had a beef cheek ravioli at one of Michael Simon's restaurants. So relatively exotic. I mean, I don't know, like what's exotic? You know, I'm not going to eat like a snake. I'm just not going to do that ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wanted to get a caviar appetizer at that restaurant we were at, and everyone else said no.
Well, they said you
it.
wouldn't like it. And they were right. They were right. You wouldn't like it.
Well, sure. How would I know, Jeff, if I didn't try it?
Yeah, I think at this point we're safe to assume. I don't know. It's gonna be stuff like squid and things like that, and whatever I eat at sushi, and then someone's like, well, let's get the the really weird thing on here. I'm like, yeah. Usually though, I'm just like eating and not paying too much attention because that's just how I eat. That's the way I prefer it. So yeah, I don't know. No real good answer here.
Big Tony says, my dog's thoughts on big meaty men slapping meat. Thanks. I'm a big fan of it, and I heard that there was some good big beanie men slapping meat on All Out.
Yeah, I need to watch that before my $50 I spent on that expires and can't watch it anymore and have to acquire it some other way.
Don't you? I think if you spent $50 on it, I think you have that replay forever.
It said 72 hours, but maybe you're right.
That would be insane.
That would be very frustrating. I'll double check, but either way, I'm a big fan of it as well. In fact, I am like these flippy dippy guys. I'm not really, but like I like at a certain point watching.
Okay, Cornet.
Watching Gunther just get into a meat slapping contest with other big guys. Like that's actually where it's at right now for me.
Bench JC says, "Hey dogs, what are the odds Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster gets announced at next week's Rumor Direct? Then it's shown at Tokyo Game Show more."
That sounds right, but boy, I don't know. Does Square Enix like announce a game this late I guess is it really that late in the year? I suppose it's not. Yeah, that sounds right. Sure, why not? I'll go with that. Maybe. That sounds good, Ben.
If there is a direct, maybe we'll see it. I mean, we all are pretty sure things happening. We're now decently removed from the release of Tactics Ogre. That it would make some sense. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Octo says, "Yo, Jeff, be nice to me, Grubb." And Mike, please. I'm going to sniff Jeff so hard, Minotti.
Yes.
It's now 2 a.m. after reading Beef's entire manifesto. The making of Karateka is rad, and I hope it's successful. What game would you like to see dream big, and what game do you think is actually doable and worthy of the Gold Master Series label? I would like to see Super Metroid would actually be pretty neat with that. I guess
so much Nintendo stuff.
I mean, just any game that I like would be cool with that. Yeah. Honestly, like there's no like I think that you can actually just use that mold for almost anything, and it'd be great.
I think the one I would like to see next probably is Doom. I think
Doom would be cool.
Doom would be a really good fit.
You can see that happening.
Yes, I would really enjoy that.
That makes sense. Chaos Buckaroo says, "Howdy, Mike, Zelda Minotti, and Jeff Blowout Grubb." How are we feeling around the 1-year anniversary of the darkest day in Nintendogs history? Well, I think it's important to remember how I feel now, because it's important to remember when things feel like the end of the world. How they never are.
Yes, this too shall pass. Yeah, it always just ends up fading away. Yeah. I feel great. I feel real good.
I think everybody gets it now.
It'd be cool if they announced this though, but I have no idea.
Isaac Clark says, "Howdy, Jeff, Tommy, Grubb, and Mike Tallarico Minotti. How dare you?" I have a non-gaming question for y'all. What kind of lawnmower do you guys each use, and would you recommend it? Mine recently bit the dust, and I'd like my new one to be beef and cheddar approved. Jeff, I have people who cut my grass for me now.
Okay. Wow. How dare you even ask this question, Isaac Clark? I would assume that he would do manual labor.
I still have a lawnmower, because this was the first year I started paying people to do it. I don't remember what it is, but I don't like it very much, so don't get what I have anyways. How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I have an electric, I think it's like a Toho or something. I got it from Home Depot when we first moved here. Yes, I definitely am.
You got feet pervs and Tohos.
It's okay. I like that it's quiet. I would keep getting electric ones. I just want to get an electric one that is maybe a bit more powerful, because if I don't set it to the highest setting after my grass gets pretty long, it just stops. I'll go 10 feet, and it's no, this is too deep. We got to just stop. So I would probably get an electric again, but and a push one or a self-propelled push one. But I would want it to be more powerful. So I'm going to look into that next time around.
Jamie H1224 says, "What's more likely to be announced first? Wind Waker Twilight Princess ports or Tears of the Kingdom DLC. Not necessarily what it is, just that it's in development. Even though Tears of the Kingdom DLC would be new content, Jeff, I want those ports more.
Oh, I want them more, yeah.
I'm generally weird with DLC. Like, as much as I loved Breath of the Wild, I did not play any of that DLC. I just didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's weird. Most people are that way, I think. I think it's more likely that we get Tears of the Kingdom DLC first. I hope I'm wrong.
Let's see, from Always Be Clothing. Hey, Always Be Clothing. Thank you so much again. Dear Jeff, I'm not recovered from Pack Scrub, and Mike, I do like the hose, Minotti. You were blessed enough to see Ben Starr cast Drink Aga last weekend. What food or beverage Aga do you think would be your most powerful move? Chicken carbonara Aga would be pretty calorific, I believe. I think that's still the highest calorie item menu, not just at the Cheesecake Factory, but in any chained restaurant. Cheesecake Factory's chicken carbonara Aga.
I would probably do like DiGiorno Aga, and I just would cook a whole pizza and eat it all by myself.
Ezipsa says, "Good day, guys. Nintendo." Do you think Ezipsa is Australian? They just threw a good day at us.
That's stereotyping, Mike, but yes, I do.
Nintendo always has some great statues at expos. If you could have one in your house, what statue would it be? I mean, you want that Kirby, don't you, Jeff? Come on.
Definitely want that Kirby. Yes, the Kirby's great. Even all the other Kirby stuff there, the Kirby, there's something really, really great about that.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Darachi says, "Hey, Jeff and Mike, I started playing Astral Chain the other day after buying it at launch and not playing it once. It's good, and I wish I had played it earlier. It games you didn't play until way later and regret waiting so long to play. I did wait a very long time to play Hollow Knight. It was quite well after everybody else tried it and formed their very strong opinions about it. But once I did play it, yeah, I liked it quite a lot."
Nothing comes to mind right away. It's like usually I get these things a few months late, and that's fine.
Blake Cool Dick Denver says, "Hi, people who live in Nintendo jail, aka Ohio. No question today, but I want to shout out Jan for committing to the bit and shaving his head as opposed to just getting a nice haircut and making his friend live with a bag of hair for like 6 months. Hey, shout out to Tam, too, for just being incredible with that tiny little razor that I did not think was going to work at all."
Yep, he really did a good job. Jan did it, it was a good sport about it, and it was a lot of fun to film that. So that video is somewhere on Twitch, I guess. I don't know. To put that on Giant Bomb somewhere.
The Midfield Wolf 5 says, "Hey, Mike, don't get mad at all the children. I still love Super Metroid, Minotti, and Jeff. As long as they don't shit on SnowRunner, I'm happy. Grubb."
Yeah, just leave SnowRunner alone, please.
"Ever since its initial reveal, Starfield has been one of my most anticipated games, also being the reason I bought an Xbox Series X. Playing it, however, disappointed me so severely as I couldn't play it the way I played games like Skyrim and Fallout. I understand many people had the same experience, Jeff included, and I wanted to ask, if you all had a game before this that made you shift the way you usually play games of its genre? I will say I'm enjoying the game much more now that I'm playing it more like Mass Effect rather than Skyrim."
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a great other answer. Starfield definitely is the one where it's like, oh, I need to meet this game where it's at. I need to shift my expectations, and that is inherently a disappointment. And yet, the more I play Starfield, the more I like it, the better it gets, the more I'm understanding what they were going for in terms of, the depths of these quests and stuff. So it's yeah. Other than because you would think, oh, Breath of the Wild is like this big I'm like, Breath of the Wild was so on my wavelength immediately of what I wanted that series to do. It felt like it was a dream of mine that had become reality. So it's like a lot of times I just kind of luck into things. Hey, everything's turning up Jeffrey right now.
There's something I should do with Starfield also that I'm usually really bad at with these games. And I got over it with Oblivion eventually, because so many of the best quest lines are kind of the more evil person quest lines. Like in Oblivion, the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild, whatever that was called, was some of the best stuff. And I know here there's a Pirates Guild, that's fun. And I started this quest chain for this, one of the main big quest chains in the game where you work for this company, this unsavory company. I just haven't continued it because the next thing they want me to do is something I think is mean. So I'm like, well, I'm not just not ever going to do that, I guess. And it feels like I'm going to miss out on all this stuff. And there's not an option to do the quote unquote good guy thing there and continue the question. I just have to do the mean thing.
There are meaner quests that maybe are more palatable to you. I would recommend getting arrested. Go do the Crimson Fleet quest, because in that one it's like the two sides that are going against each other are the shitty cops and the shitty pirates.
Right. I found out that there is another way to enter that quest line where you sort of enter it as a double agent for the shitty cops.
Okay.
So that might be interesting.
Yeah, go for that.
But yeah, just because the Freestar Rangers is like the one I find the most like morally okay to join, I don't want to be the only one of these giant quest lines that I do. So,
did you ever do like the Thieves Guild stuff? And
that's what I was saying. Like I got over that in Oblivion to do that stuff. And I got over it to Skyrim also to do it. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time. Maybe because I feel like in Skyrim, I was just like, I don't want a companion. And here for some reason, I'm still being a bit stubborn about that. Maybe at some point I will just have the robot follow me, so I don't feel so.
I mean, you could just you could tell everyone to just stay back too. I mean,
part of me is still so like KOTOR was the first computer RPG kind of game I did play, and the alignment system was so important. And for a lot of those games that followed that for a while,
that
right?
was
Like
very
Mass Effect
influential in that space for a long time with that stuff.
Right, and kind of to the detriment of the genre for a good while. It got a little overboard, but I still, unfortunately, do think of that way where it's like, this is all very binary. I need to be either the goodest person or the bestest person, and being in the middle is bad, because like those games usually had a reward. If you like, in the end of Knights of the Republic, you went to the Starforge, you got like super cool Jedi robes or super cool Sith robes if you really devoted to one of those paths, right?
Right.
Okay, next one here is from Super Harmon. It says, flying to Japan in 2 weeks. Nice.
Ooh.
What type of games do you like to play on flights? I'm just deciding between Sea of Stars and Blasphemous
Now, Mike,
2.
pretend that you could stay awake to play a game on a flight.
Man, listen, we just had 2 4 to 5 hour flights, and I just sleep. And even if I'm not sleeping, I'll just listen to a podcast or something. I don't like getting my Switch out. If I was going to play a game on a flight, it would probably be something retro and simple. Like I would play through one of my old Mega Man games, or I would do like a Super Metroid run or something like that. I wouldn't want to pick up something new or something story heavy like an RPG personally.
Yeah, I would. I played Armored Core 6 on the plane, and that was pretty good. But boy, once I got home and started playing it, could really like just turn up the volume and hear everything, and it's like then it really really super clicked. But that's still like a very dewy game, so I would say Armored Core 6 is a good one. But anything where it's like you are either very familiar with it, or you could play it without having to like hear every little detail, because even if you do have like noise canceling earphones, chances are like that's going to be using the really shitty Bluetooth connection and not like a decent one. So you're going to have a delay there, and there's probably not an easy way to like plug that in unless maybe get one of those adapters or something like that. So and hearing things in a lot of games is very important, turns out. So, a retro game is a really good solution there.
JD Camp wants to know, why does Mike hate moisturizing? I don't hate moisturizing. In fact, our hotel room had like a little bottle of moisturizer.
You use it every day,
right next to the soap. Yeah. But I just using it to describe that Genshin style of anime RPG.
Yeah,
where
and really it was like moisturizer, but like we started saying moist at first. Moist, they just look moist, and that's weird.
No, see, that's not what I mean. I don't think they look moist. No, I always said moisturizer because I just mean that they have very immaculate skin. They just look like they
shiny, have
no imperfections, right? Okay. It's just the most like these all look like dolls kind of a thing.
Okay, yeah, porcelain. Yeah, I get that.
Gigante says, did Mike wear sandals to PAX? #WikiFeet. I'll let Jeff answer this one.
He was ashamed at Summer Games Fest enough that he wore pants, I think, every day except for the last day. And the day he wore shorts, they were not gym shorts. They weren't gym shorts. But for shoes, I think he always wore sneakers. Right?
Yes, I did.
You know what? I gotta be honest, didn't look at your feet all that much.
No, I brought sandals just in case, but I was wearing my sneakers tired time. Sorry, somebody was hidden in the chat. I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know. The thing they said was nothing at all. Sean, what happened there?
It could have been something earlier.
Maybe there's something earlier. I got to know. And then Drewman says, hey, doggos, what the hell is the deal with Mario 3D All-Stars? I was looking for an extra copy, and it's literally doubled in price. A chance Nintendo prints it again, or is this game gone to Nintendo Vault forever?
How is that possible?
Many people slept on this release.
That game was
there are-
so like there were so many copies on like the Best Buy store shelf for like a year and a half later after they said it was going to be gone.
But there were a finite amount of copies.
There's a finite number of everything.
There was, yeah, but like at some point here, we're going to run out of them. They weren't ever going to make more, and I guess we're finally there, so they're getting more expensive, right?
Yeah, I guess. I bet if you went looking for that game, you could probably find it for less than double the price.
Sure, if you go online, you'll have better luck.
Nintendo says the stores and everything still have them in stock. I feel like I saw them at Target like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Then Matt Rare Monkey says, "Hey, Game S folks, what's the best cut of steak? Just went out to the Brazilian steakhouse and ate way too much steak and other meats. But for me, I want a ribeye. I know ribeye is a very popular answer these days for most people, Jeff. It's a little too fatty for me. I like something a little leaner. I mean, you know what? I feel like filet was like at the top, and then it kind of like everyone's dragging it down, saying it doesn't have enough fat. It's not beefy flavor enough. And now it's kind of getting appreciated again. I do like a filet. I just like that ridiculous tenderness. I think it's good. I think a sirloin or New York strip is also just a very nice in between for ribeye or that. But I like to get like a skirt or a flank steak. Some of these cheaper cuts that are longer, and if you just cook them right and you cut them really thin against the grain, they also come out really well. There's a lot of good cuts. We
were watching guys grocery games, Mike, in the hotel room, and they were cooking steaks in that. What cut of steak was that? Could you tell by looking?
Well, one person had a ribeye, and then the other one got a fillet, I believe. Actually,
okay, I think the ribeye is the one I'm thinking of.
The ribeye is the one that's very fatty. It has like kind of like that thick fat cap, and it's got a little bit of the meat. The spinalis, as it's called, on the edge.
Of course, I knew that. The ribeye. Listen. If I'm going out to get steak, I'm getting a fillet. It's just that like that feels like the biggest return on my investment. It costs more, but also it's like that ridiculous tenderness of it, like literally melting in your mouth, is so satisfying, especially those first couple of bites. But like we go to a Japanese steakhouse every Christmas Eve, and me and Steph both get the fillet. We get it, medium rare or rare, and it's delicious.
Sean has still not answered to me for what this person's crying.
You're deeply upset about this. It could have just been fat fingers.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't just
see me. Okay, maybe it's maybe there's more to it than we. Yeah,
sorry.
They'll tell us later.
I should draw more attention to it.
Yeah. I think you skipped
Sean's yelling at me now too. Dang it.
Oh, good stuff.
It's
like Sean is there. It's like if he could tell you, I think he would have.
Well, somebody last week admitted to fat fingering it, so I thought that happened again.
I fat fingered someone in the giant bomb chat because I was falling asleep while watching something.
It was you.
Yes.
Oh, well, of course. Hey, Christian, do we need to take another break?
I think you skipped Drewman's question. Pretty sure.
No, he got it.
Nope. About 3D Mario All-Stars? Nope.
Yes. Okay. Yes, let's do another break, please.
All right, we'll take a break right now.
Cool. We're good.
Okay, we're going to come back right now. And we are back. Grubb, do we have some more? Man, I don't like calling you Grubb.
I understand. You call me Jeff.
The Giant Bomb people.
Yeah.
There's so many Jeffs.
Yes, exactly.
It felt weird to me to call you Grubb. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think it is a bit weird. I'm used to you calling me Jeff. All right.
I have to do it if I'm doing something with you in Backlore. I will do it sometimes.
Exactly. Yes. Totally.
But here, it's gross. But yes, we have some more super chats.
Yeah, just a couple more here. War Rizzle says, "Great job at PAX. Hope you both enjoyed the Pacific Northwest." Yeah,
I do. I wish I had more time to go explore a bit more.
Yeah, I'd like to go out to Mount Rainier. I would like to because I just love the way it looks from the city when you can see it. Most of the time you can't. So I would like to actually get out into the Pacific Northwesty parts of the state next time I'm out there. But because I've never really had a chance to do that, and other than driving to the airport, and it's immediately all these deciduous trees, and they look great. Deciduous? What is it?
I don't know what word you're trying to say.
Coniferous. All the coniferous trees.
So you did make up a word.
No, deciduous is not a made up word, but it's the wrong word.
Okay, well that's fine.
And it's just man, this is so pretty. I just love the vibe out there. So yes, we had a great time. And then let's see here. T-Bucket 23. Some random college football trivia, but on Saturday, Michigan beat East Carolina Vince McMahon's college. Since Jeff is a UM fan, congrats, Jeff. You beat Vince. Thank you very much. And I'll take full credit for that.
Fantastic.
Mike, that does it for the super chats.
All right. I mean, Jeff, I haven't been playing too much else aside from Wonder. I haven't got to play a whole lot of Sea of Stars because I brought my Switch with me. Didn't play it for a single second. Didn't play any other games really, except for some stuff at PAX. I didn't get to start playing it anymore last night because I was just pretty tired. So I don't really have too much more to say right now. How about you?
Yeah, same. We talked about Wonder. That would have been kind of the thing to go here. But I am busy with Starfield, and I'm busy with Armored Core 6, and then there's a one thing I'm playing on the Switch I can't talk about yet. So it's like that's kind of where we're at. But
do you think you're going to be playing Sea of Stars anymore, or is it just going to kind of?
I would like to. I honestly, to make sure I play it, as I'll need to hear from someone else on the staff that they are considering it for their top 10 of the year. So, because it's like I want to be able to speak to it at Game of the Year time, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's going in that direction. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, then. I guess that pretty much does it here.
Yep, I think we are wrapping this up now, Mike. I'm gonna hit the button.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. We'll be back on Thursday with Game Mess Decides. We'll get into some shenanigans there. If we continue Game of the Year, it'll be 2001. Probably going to happen. Let's think of something else. I don't know. But yeah, how about you, Jeff? I realize kind of late that I'm not going to be able to do Light Club tomorrow because I'm going to the
we'll figure something out. We might do a normal episode. We might not. Well, I'll talk to Dan about it in the morning. We'll figure it out for sure.
I'm fine with you guys doing a normal episode.
We'll see. For me, yep, just coming out on Giant Bomb tomorrow. We'll have some fun. Gonna get back into the swing of things. Looking forward to that. Game S mornings will be happening. Lucy will be on. It'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. And then
right. That's
I'll stream on Twitch and stuff. I miss
Lucy. We got to hang out so much with Lucy and Tam and Jan. It was fun.
Yeah, they're just really nice. They are
nice.
They always include us on all their cool stuff. I appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Legal pills.
Oh, it's Lucy.
Legal pills. Legal pills.
It's Donald Duck for real!
Hi, doggy.
Berserker Barrage!
They are going to come for Zelda.
Step bro.
Finish him!